my top 20.
Where were you on that 20, Moons?
Well, I was 21st, along with about 700 other players.
Scarlett.
So this is a different.
Yeah, these are only players that you played with.
This is players that I played. So from 2000 to 2011, I had Matty Scarlett as my number one.
Yep.
Now, I think his body of work for 8 to 9, maybe even 10 years, I think was arguably the best thing that I've ever seen from a fullback. Gary, I mean, if you threw Gary's years at Gold Coast in it, then you'd probably have him as number one. But for my time playing, Gary gave me 4 of the best years I've ever seen, but Scarlett gave me a bigger body of work.
So one of the big movers from the original list to your list is Corey Enright. Fire us up to number 3.
Corey Enright, I think, would go down, and this is my opinion, but I think he'd just about go down as the best medium small defender that the game has ever seen. So now, I know we've got Gavin Wanganeen, Brownlow medalist. Yep. But Wanganeen played a lot of up forward and on ball as well through his career. This guy played purely as a half backer. I thought his career would be as good as anything that we've ever seen.
Okay, man, let's have a look at this list. How many of them how many have you been influenced by putting your mates up higher?
Well, who are you saying?
So Corey Enright at 3.
Are you saying you wouldn't put
Scarlett, Enright. You got Milburn in the top 10.
Well, you can't tell me Scarlett wouldn't be number one.
Of course he would.
Ablett there, Enright would be 3.
Yeah.
Selwood, that's a pretty good one. Bartel, Corey. I probably could have put Corey a bit higher, to be honest. Johnson, Chapman, Ling, Milburn.
Dash is always underrated too, isn't
Milburn is the most underrated football I've ever been with. Kelly, Ottens, Mackie, Harley, Rook. I could have put Rook as number 1.
Number 1?
Oh, God.
Number 1!
He's the most lovable person, and every single Geelong player would put Max Rook right at the top of the list.
Who's the happiest bloke there, do you reckon, to have made that list? Jace?
Wojak at 20.
3-time premiership player, Wojak.
Yeah, there'd be a few of them down there.
Massive.
I liked him as a player.
He was very good.
But is he a good mate of yours?
We have a few beers.
Yeah, there you go. I reckon
is that the name you were looking for?
I reckon I've hit on.
Was a very good player, Wojak. So who missed out, Hunter, that you perhaps think should have been in there?
No,
through that era, there wasn't.
Yeah, I think through that era, you've got most of them covered, haven't you?
No, that was an amazing era. It really was. Ottens probably could have been a bit higher.
Yeah, I would have thought Ottens could be a bit higher. The influence that he had, I'd probably have Kelly and Ottens a bit higher, but as to who they replace, I mean, it's got no issue.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, if you look at pure talent, Kelly right up there, but he beats Ling. But Ling, what he did on a weekly basis to smother the best on baller on the opposition, and then would pick up 20, 25 possessions of his own. Yeah. And he did that for a good 10-year period. I mean, he's the best target I think that's ever played the game. So I think he's been enormous for the footy club.
Stokesy, was he considered for that?
Stokesy, yes, considered for
that team. Matthew Stokes?
He's there.
He's there.
Oh, where is he?
17.
She's my
Another one of Moons' mates.
He deserved it.
Right?
He was brilliant. 180 games, 2-time premiership player. He was a brilliant player.
He's got all the answers too.
He was a brilliant player.
Peter Riccardi could be a bit higher.
Rico.
But
but only got a couple of years with Rico.
Remember as much as that kick after the siren as anything else in his career, wasn't he?
Yeah.
So that's a very strong list. And obviously, you know,
if you say so yourself,
obviously I'd be in there somewhere.
Well, I will say this. When you look at the top 20 for each club, you start to find out the clubs that have had good eras and the clubs that have had ordinary eras, because some of the top 20 lists are much stronger than other clubs.
No, that's
much stronger.
So, Moons, where would you think that you would go in there, do you reckon?
I would put myself in the teens.
In the teens?
In the teens.
Yeah. So
probably late teens.
ahead of Mackie, or?
No, not for talent.
Harley?
Around that.
Okay, you reckon you've got Harley covered. Okay, so Moons puts himself.
But Harley's got everyone covered. See, I made a few lists, Jason, because this is how bored I was at home last night. I had most influential players of that period, and the list completely changes. Like Harley is number 1 or 2 on that list, because his influence for us to go and win premierships was enormous. Joel Corey I put at number 3 on that list, because his professionalism and the way he trained and the way he conducted himself on a daily basis led the way for players to follow. So a little bit different, but you're looking at pure talent here.
Where was Steve